In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 MLB games happening on July 1st, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Cleveland Guardians versus Chicago Cubs. The Cleveland Guardians are on the road, heading to Wrigley Field in Chicago to take on the Cubs. Gavin Williams has been a solid arm for the Guardians this season, but that performance doesn't count for much when your offense provides absolutely no support. The Guardians' bats have gone completely silent, as they've been shut out in 3 of their last 4 games. This isn't a new problem either. In 3 of Williams' last 4 starts, the team has managed to score 3 runs or fewer. On the other side, Matthew Boyd is pitching like an all-star, boasting a stellar 2.65 ERA and a 1.1 WHIP. He's been even sharper recently, giving up just 18 hits and 6 earned runs over his last 30.1 innings. At home, he's practically untouchable, with a 2.41 ERA while holding opponents to a .212 batting average in 41 innings at Wrigley. This sets up as a nightmare matchup for Cleveland. The Guardians have been abysmal against left-handed pitching all year, posting a 7-16 record, and the Cubs are 6-1 when Boyd starts at home. Chicago is simply the better team in every phase of the game, from home field advantage and starting pitching to their bullpen, defense, and a much more potent offense. It's highly unlikely that the Guardians will suddenly find their offensive rhythm in this game. As our first pick for this matchup, the Chicago Cubs money line is our full game side pick. Given how dominant Matthew Boyd and the Cubs have been at home, it's difficult to have any confidence in the Cleveland offense putting up much of a fight. The Guardians rank near the bottom of the league, sitting at 24th by averaging a paltry 3.8 runs per game on the road, and their recent struggles are glaring, having been held scoreless in 3 of their last 4 contests. While you could make a case that the Cubs' offense is good enough to push this game over the total by itself, I believe the Guardians' pitching staff can do just enough to keep the final score from getting out of hand. Coming off a day of rest, their bullpen should be fresh, allowing them to mix and match arms to limit the damage and keep the game from turning into a blowout. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Houston Astros versus Colorado Rockies. The Houston Astros and the Colorado Rockies are 2 teams heading in completely different directions this season. The Astros boast a strong 50-34 record and, with 7 wins in their last 10 games, hold the top spot in the American League West. Meanwhile, the Rockies sit at a dismal 19-65 and, with only 2 wins in their last 10, have earned the unfortunate distinction of being the worst team in baseball. It's no surprise the Astros are heavy favorites in this matchup. They have been the far superior team all season long, while the Rockies have been the weakest link in the league. Houston holds a significant pitching advantage. The Rockies are starting Dollander, who has been terrible this year and even worse at home, where he's saddled with an abysmal 8.54 ERA. Behind their starter, the Astros have the 3rd best bullpen in baseball ready to lock things down. The Rockies' offense, which already ranks as the 3rd worst in the league, is particularly anemic against left-handed pitching. The head-to-head history is just as lopsided, with the Astros winning 9 of their last 10 meetings against Colorado. Even with the Astros playing under .500 on the road and the Rockies struggling at home, the talent gap is too wide to ignore. In their last 4 games in Colorado, Houston is 3-1, and with one rookie pitcher clearly outperforming the other, you can expect Houston to start this series with a big victory. As our first pick for this matchup, the Houston Astros money line is our full game side pick. When looking at the totals, recent trends for the Rockies point toward low-scoring games, with the under hitting in 7 of their last 10 contests. Their offense has been a major factor, as the team has scored 4 runs or fewer in 7 of those games. For the Astros, the results have been split down the middle, but their pitching has held opponents to 4 or fewer runs in 6 of their last 10 games. Despite having two rookies on the mound, a low-scoring affair seems likely in this one. The most compelling evidence is the head-to-head history between these clubs, where the under has cashed in 8 of their last 10 games. Their last 3 meetings have averaged just 8 total runs, reinforcing the idea that runs will be at a premium. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. San Francisco Giants versus Arizona Diamondbacks. The MLB betting action continues on Tuesday, July 1st, featuring a National League West showdown as the San Francisco Giants visit the Arizona Diamondbacks at Chase Field. The Diamondbacks managed to snap a 3-game losing streak by winning the first game of this series, while the Giants' struggles continued, marking their 3rd consecutive loss and 6th defeat in their last 7 games. San Francisco's offense has been ice cold, putting up a combined total of only 5 runs over their last 3 contests. However, they should find some life at the plate tonight against Zach Gallen, who has been shelled for a total of 12 runs in his last 2 starts alone. The Diamondbacks are also primed for a big offensive night as they get to face Hayden Birdsong, who has been just as hittable, also surrendering 12 runs in his last 2 outings. When you break down this matchup between the Giants and Diamondbacks, it's clear San Francisco has the superior bullpen, but Arizona has the far more dangerous lineup, and their bats will be the difference maker, ultimately handing the spiraling Giants their 4th straight loss. As our first pick for this matchup, the Arizona Diamondbacks money line is our full game side pick. Based on the recent performances of both Hayden Birdsong and Zach Gallen, the only logical direction to look for the total is over. I've already touched on how poorly Birdsong has pitched, and Gallen hasn't been any better, giving up at least 4 earned runs in each of his last 4 starts. The issues don't stop with the starters. Arizona's bullpen has been a weak spot all season long, and even the Giants' normally reliable relief corps has been struggling over the past 10 days after being a top unit for most of the year. Although the first game of this series stayed under the total, that feels like an exception to the rule. Both starters have been getting hammered, each allowing 12 runs in their last 2 games, and Gallen's ERA is now creeping closer to 6 than 5. Neither pitcher is set up for a good outing, and both lineups should put up a significant number of runs. This is particularly true for Arizona's offense, which ranks 3rd in the majors in scoring. Even with San Francisco leading the league in bullpen ERA, the Diamondbacks are going to do plenty of damage against Birdsong, and with Gallen also continuing to give up runs, this game is destined to be a high-scoring affair. As our first pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Kansas City Royals versus Seattle Mariners. It's the second game of a 4-game series between American League West rivals on the diamond in the Emerald City as the Kansas City Royals travel to face the Seattle Mariners Tuesday night. The Kansas City Royals have had a tough go of it this season, and a big part of their problem is an offense that just can't get going consistently. They come into this game having lost 7 of their last 8, putting them deep in the hole in the American League Central race. Their starter, Michael Lorenzen, hasn't been sharp this year, and his career numbers against the Mariners, including an ERA north of 5, don't offer much hope for a turnaround. Emerson Hancock has had his own set of struggles for the Mariners, but the situation is completely different for Seattle. They're still in the hunt for a playoff spot and get to play this game in front of their home crowd. When you look at the offenses, Seattle has been the more productive team all season. That advantage, combined with playing at home, should be more than enough to handle a Royals team that is simply trying to stay afloat. As our first pick for this matchup, the Seattle Mariners money line is our full game side pick. There's a strong trend pointing to a low-scoring game here, and it starts with Kansas City. The under has been a consistent winner in their games, hitting in 51 of their 84 contests this season. It's easy to see why when you look at their offense, which sits dead last in the majors by averaging just over 3 runs per game. Their average game sees a total of about 7 runs, one of the lowest marks in baseball, while the Seattle Mariners have a more capable offense, averaging around 4.6 runs per game. That number takes a noticeable dip when they play at home. The biggest factor, though, is the ballpark itself. T-Mobile Park is statistically the most pitcher-friendly venue in the entire league, which naturally suppresses scoring for both sides. With one of the league's worst offenses on one side and a park that kills rallies on the other, this game has all the makings of a classic pitcher's duel that stays under the total. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Chicago White Sox versus Los Angeles Dodgers. The Chicago White Sox are heading to Dodger Stadium on the 1st of July to start a series against the reigning World Series champions, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Looking at how these teams have been playing lately, everything points toward the Dodgers. They've been dominant at home with a 30-14 record this season and have owned the White Sox, winning 7 of their last 8 meetings. The White Sox, on the other hand, have been abysmal on the road, managing just a 9-32 record and losing 15 of their last 19 games away from their home park. The numbers are just as lopsided when you look at the run line, where the Dodgers cover the spread in over 58% of their home games, while the White Sox fail to cover nearly 54% of the time on the road. It gets worse when you see the Dodgers outscore opponents by an average of 2.3 runs at home, while the White Sox get outscored by 1.8 runs on the road. Offensively, it's not even a contest. The Dodgers are simply a much better hitting team, especially against right-handed pitching. Their lineup has posted a .761 OPS and a 110 WRC+ against righties over the last 10 days, meaning they are 10% better than the league average. The White Sox have been feeble in the same situation, with a .624 OPS and a 78 WRC+, putting them 22% below the league average. It's going to be a long night for Shane Smith, who will have his hands full trying to keep the Dodgers' bats quiet. Meanwhile, Yoshinobu Yamamoto has a great opportunity to repeat the dominant performance he had against the Rockies last week. As our first pick for this matchup, the Los Angeles Dodgers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Dodgers have seen the total go under in 3 of their last 5 games, and the White Sox have trended the same way, going under in 4 of their last 5. The starting pitching matchup also suggests a game where runs will be hard to come by, with Yoshinobu Yamamoto sporting a 2.61 ERA and Shane Smith holding a respectable 3.38 ERA. Both pitchers have shown they can effectively limit opposing offenses. You can see this in their recent games. The Dodgers' last contest had just 6 total runs, and the White Sox's last game featured only 7. The White Sox offense has been particularly quiet, averaging a paltry 3.2 runs over their last 5 games. That weak lineup now has to face a Dodgers team that has been locking opponents down, allowing only 2.6 runs per game over their last 5. All the signs from recent play and the men on the mound point toward a low-scoring game. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.